What's on tap? Welcome on into the George on Tap show. As always, I'm George, and today we're going to give you what's on tap in sports. And we're going to start off by tonight's Dallas Cowboys versus New York Football Giants game. And this is a huge game for the Dallas Cowboys because, well, they're in a must win situation. The Cowboys are 1-2. If they start 1-3, they are in a place where they cannot recover from. The Cowboys cannot start off 1-3. It's almost like the Sunday night football game where the Ravens are taking on the Bills and they can't start off 1-3. Especially for the Cowboys now in a division where it doesn't seem like you're only going to have to face the Philadelphia Eagles to win it. You're also going to have to deal with Jaden Daniels and the Washington Commanders. And the Cowboys are America's team, and we've all known that for so long. But don't they feel small right now? Today they feel small. I know Dak Prescott is a good quarterback. He's never going to be a great quarterback. He's good enough to win you a Super Bowl, probably with perfect situation, like an Eli Manning. But I don't necessarily think he is a guy who's going to carry your team like of course, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. The problem with the Cowboys is they have all the fancy tools. They got the Dak. They got CeeDee Lamb. They got Micah Parsons. And then the running backs are Rico Dowdle and Ezekiel Elliott. Their head coach, Mike McCarthy, who I know he's won 12 games, back-to-back seasons, but he's shown. He had Aaron Rodgers for years. Maybe that Super Bowl was more about Aaron Rodgers than Mike McCarthy. Wow, shocker. So yes, the Cowboys are in a must-win situation, and they're probably going to win this game. But don't let that be fool's gold either. Because yes, they're going to probably win this football game, and I think they're going to win this football game handedly. But then they go to Pittsburgh, where they take on the Steelers and that defense. Then they play the Lions. Detroit's good. Then they head to San Francisco, who by then might be healthy. And then they go to Atlanta. The Falcons are not a bad football team. Oh no, then they play who? The Philadelphia Eagles, who I still think are the best team in the division. But that's okay, no problem, right? Oh, then they go play the Houston Texans. Great team. Then they go to Washington to play the Commanders. They play the Giants again. Bengals at Panthers, Buccaneers, Eagles, Commanders. There's not many gimmies on this schedule, guys. The Cowboys could have a disastrous season that could end up being the best thing possible for them. Because then you can finally get rid of Mike McCarthy. Maybe you bring in Bill Belichick or another big name head coach, Lincoln Riley. Dare I say Deion Sanders? Huge game today for the Cowboys, but don't fall for the trap if they win this game easily. All right. So I want to talk about Derrick Rose, and he's retired now. And Derrick Rose had a good career, right? And everyone's favorite thing is, oh, if Derrick Rose didn't tear his ACL, how many championships would he have won with the Chicago Bulls? I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I like Derrick Rose. I think he was a great player, fun to watch, fantastic. I think the Chicago Bulls with Derrick Rose and Joakim Noah would have won a total of 0 championships if he remained healthy. There's a reason LeBron James was in the Eastern Conference and going to 9 straight NBA finals. Patrick Ewing was a great player. Couldn't never get over the Michael Jordan hump. I don't think Derrick Rose ever in his career would have ever under any circumstance gotten over the LeBron James hump. I know it's tough to hear. Derrick Rose is still really good, and I think, he was a great player, fun to watch, but let's not get it twisted. I know he's one of the people. What if Derrick Rose didn't tear his ACL? LeBron would have had to go to a couple extra game sevens. I mean, no, LeBron James had the East on lockdown with or without Derrick Rose, but it made me wonder, who are some of the biggest what ifs in sports to go along with Derrick Rose? And I compiled a little bit of a list here for you guys, and we're going to start off with Penny Hardaway. Penny Hardaway to me is Derrick Rose 2.0. Injuries slowed him down. Fantastic player. Kind of same connection, right? Memphis head basketball coaches now Penny Hardaway and Derrick Rose went to Memphis. I think Penny Hardaway also went to Memphis, and they were great players that were fun to watch, really marketable because their style of play was great. By both of those guys, I think would never won an NBA championship. Grant Hill comes to mind. Now, Grant Hill is the biggest what if to me because he was fantastic, and I think he was ready to be that guy who took over after Michael Jordan if he never got hurt and kind of sandwiched between Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant and the LeBron James. I think Grant Hill could have been a all-time great player, but his injuries definitely held him back. So those are my two like basketball what ifs. I have like three other what ifs. Andrew Luck, if he never retired, I don't know what would have happened, or if he stayed healthy, I don't know what would have happened. But I'm still on that Andrew Luck would have won multiple Super Bowls train if he ever stayed healthy, but he couldn't stay on the football field, and injuries forced him to retire. Mike Vick. If Mike Vick never went to jail for dogfighting, how good would his career have been? I feel like he was just entering his prime. And we saw how good he was before the dogfighting incident. We saw how good he was after the dogfighting incident. I don't know what he would have been in the middle, but it is a big what if. And I also think what if Mike Vick played today? He'd probably be Lamar Jackson better. So that's one of the biggest what ifs for me is what if Mike Vick never got arrested? And then Bo Jackson. Bo Jackson, dual sports star, amazing player, a huge what if there. If Bo Jackson never got hurt, how big would his legacy really have been? And it's hard to tell. It's hard to say. But to me, that's one of the biggest what ifs. Congratulations to Derrick Rose on retirement. Great career. Happy for him. And yes, he would have had a much better career if he never got hurt. What's on tap? Caitlin Clark. Okay. So I'm checked out of the WNBA season now after Caitlin Clark got eliminated yesterday. And I know a lot of people are going to sit here and probably if they hear this, say, what do you mean checked out? Yeah, Caitlin Clark was the reason the ratings are so big. Caitlin Clark transformed the WNBA this season. And I don't understand all the hate. I don't understand all the animosity. I don't understand why players refuse to acknowledge how good she was. Diana Taurasi, who is probably going to retire after the season, said, oh, when she comes to this league as a grown woman, we'll show her. Well, she showed you guys. She set every single record possible as a rookie. And she's only going to get better. She's only going to get more marketable. And she saved the WNBA. It's become a viable league. How many people like me or people like you listening would have ever clicked on a WNBA video before Caitlin Clark showed up? 0%. She is electric. She's fun to watch. And the WNBA just got it wrong. Well, the officials even got it wrong. They officiate her wrong. And that's because probably players complain so much about her that they miss calls. The other players treat her like garbage, which is fine. I kind of like rivalries. But it's just absurd how much people seem to dislike Caitlin Clark. She's great. Enjoy it. She's the best thing that's happened to the WNBA in history. They get private jets now. They get a lot more money. She signed a $28 million shoe deal. This is going to open up the door for so many other women basketball players to come in, get shoe deals, sell to girls. Girls are going to look up to you. Great for the league. Her rookie season was fantastic. But it's time to embrace her. Embrace her other WNBA players. I'm not saying be like nice and so complimentary, but be complimentary. Still go after her on the court, but you don't have to hurt her like you always try to do or poke her in the eye. The WNBA season is now going to be probably the Las Vegas Aces winning it all. And next year, I don't care how good the Aces are, the number one story on WNBA opening night will be Caitlin Clark. All right. So the Oakland A's. The Oakland Athletics are playing their last game at the Oakland Coliseum, which I mean, they should be playing their last game at the Oakland Coliseum because it's a horrible stadium. They shouldn't be playing their last game in Oakland, but they are. Here we are. Oakland has been stripped of everything. Fair, unfair, I'm not here to judge. But I'm here to say that this is a bad relocation for the city of Oakland. Oakland A's are moving to Las Vegas. The Oakland Raiders have moved to Las Vegas. The Oakland Warriors or the San Francisco Golden State Warriors, they moved across the bay to San Francisco. Oakland has been stripped of each and every one of its sports teams' histories. And it sucks if you're an Oakland A's fan because that city just kind of got everything ripped out of them. And I don't know the economics completely behind the city, but you have San Francisco across the bay, super duper 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 rich. And then Oakland is kind of like the ugly stepsister. Unfairly, though. Same real estate almost. So Oakland has been stripped of everything, and it's not fair. I don't know what's going to happen in this last home game today. You saw fans ripping out seats of a Coliseum to take home with them. They told the players to leave directly after the game. Don't do any speeches. Don't go out and acknowledge the fans. I think there's going to be riots. I think there's going to be violence. It's just not fair to the Oakland fans. The Coliseum, yes, is ugly. But could you have built a new stadium with taxpayer money? Probably. And the Vegas move, to me, I understand. Vegas deserves a team. And I'm going to enjoy a lot more of the Vegas A's or the Vegas Aces, whatever they're going to end up calling them, more than the Oakland Athletics. But you could have moved Tampa, who doesn't really deserve a team or doesn't really have a fan base, from Tampa to Vegas and kept Oakland there. You can move the Chargers from San Diego to Vegas instead of putting him in LA with the Rams and kept the Oakland Raiders. There's been a lot of history with the Oakland sports teams, and to see that history stripped out reminds me of myself. I'm a Seattle Supersonics fan. You can probably see the jersey right behind me. Our history was stripped out, and I think we're getting a team back here shortly, but it's still not fair. It's not fair to put fans throughout this absolute garbage situation. And that's what's happening to the Oakland Athletic fans. That's what happened to the Seattle Supersonic fans. That's what happened to the San Diego Chargers fans who, we're going to move them an hour and a half north to Los Angeles and let them just share a stadium with the Rams. It's not fair for the St. Louis Rams or the Los Angeles Rams, actually, because they had to do this thing, Los Angeles Rams to St. Louis to Los Angeles. Same with the Oakland Raiders, Oakland to LA, back to Oakland, now to Vegas. Like, this is not fair to fan bases. You don't see this in Europe because the team is the city. Real Madrid is not moving to London because they're in Madrid. You know, like, the history of sports teams to me are sacred. And the sacredness of it is gone. Business, NFL, MLB, NBA. Shame on you guys. Shame, really, shame on you. No loyalty and business decisions over and over and over again. Sure, like a team like the Montreal Expos doesn't hurt me much back in the day because they didn't spend that much time in Montreal. The Tampa Bay Rays, if they moved to Vegas, doesn't hurt me either because they barely spent time in Tampa. Vancouver Grizzlies to Memphis doesn't mean anything to me. But the rest of these, not fair. How could the Seattle Supersonics not exist? How can the Oakland Athletics not exist? How could, and they were the Philadelphia Athletics, by the way. Brooklyn Dodgers. Like, these are historic things in the realm of sports history. We just get rid of it because money. Vegas deserves a team, though. Move them Tampa. Give some expansion franchises out. Ridiculous move by Major League Baseball. Ridiculous move by the Athletics owner. I won't miss the Coliseum, but I will miss the thought of the Oakland Athletics. Not that much either, because I'm a Seattle Supersonic fans and I get it. I'll miss my Sonics a lot more, but I feel really, really bad for Oakland A fans. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. This has been the Sports on Tap, What's on Tap, George on Tap show. As always, Monday through Friday. Tomorrow we'll give out some NFL previews for week 4 and some college football previews in our picks. So make sure you tune in. Thank you for watching. We'll see you guys next time.